Okay, so I will be teaching you how to solve the 4x4, corners first. So, again, speed cubes are great. They're a lot better. Okay, now, this is the corners first, and sorry if it's sort of hard to see. It's just the style carbon fiber. It's actually really cool, but yeah, so sorry if it's sort of hard to see. So now let's mess it up. Okay, so the first step is to get the middles. So we would want to start with the white middle. Pick any side that is that has the most whites, like middle, so these four middle things, but all of the ones that have white on mine are just singles, so I'll just pick any side. Now, to get the first middle, okay, well, you always want to get, you always want to start with one, then get two that are next to each other, not diagonal from each other, and then you want to get a third one, and then the last one. So on the white, it's actually very easy, because for the first one, all you have to do is get it so it's on this layer right here, and then bring it up so it's next to each other. And then the third one's also really easy. You just do the same thing, but just make sure it's on this side if these two are here, so it doesn't mess these two up. Now the fourth one is the trickiest, but it's still really easy. So all you have to do is put it so it's on the side, and on a side where two of these whites are. So either here and here, or here and here. Now, when you turn it up, you want to make sure these two are connected. So it's not like this, where they're diagonal. You want it so it's like this, where they're connected. And you want to turn the top so it's out of the way when you bring this back down. So now you have the white middles. So now you do pretty much the same thing with the yellows, but you can't just turn it like that. So, but that's a very easy fix, because if you turn this one so it's like this, so there's two here, all you have to do is move these two so they're out of the way for you to turn this back down. So now here's two, and then here is the white, not messed up. So now it's slightly different with the third one. So if you bring this up, then you can't move it away when you bring this back down. So you want to make it so it's almost the same thing as the fourth one on the white. You just have to turn it so there's two, and then you turn this so it's out of the way, and then turn this back so this comes back like this. Now it's the same thing for the fourth one. So you don't want it like this, but you do want it like this. So it's like this when you turn it up, turn it out of the way, and put it back down. So now you have two middles, and you always know that the yellow is on the other side of the white. So now you would look on the middle layer for, I just like to start with blue, and so I'm actually really lucky here. So you would put the yellow and the white on the outsides like this, and so I was really lucky with this one. So all I have to do is, so not like this, but turn it so it's like this, move it out of the way, and bring it back. So now you should have three. But now you have to know like what sides go where on the 4x4. You don't have to on the 3x3 because there are set middles, but there's no set middles for this one. So a good trick that I use is, well, first you have to know that white is always opposite yellow, green is always opposite blue, and red is always opposite orange. But even if you know that, you could still mess it up. So what you want is after you get the blue, the yellow, and the white, you want to turn it like this, so the white's right here and the blue's right here. Now, you could find out where the next one goes by remembering red, white, and blue clockwise. So just red, and then white, and then blue clockwise. So you know that this must be the red. So I would make it so I build the red here. Just very simple. Oh, and if there's 2 here and 2 here, if you put it so there's ones here, then there's nothing to move out of the way if you turn it back. So you always want to put the 2 on the other side of this 2, so you could turn it up and then turn the top twice and then turn it back. So now the red is fixed, but nothing else got messed up. So now for the last 2, you know that this one's orange and this one's green, because green is always opposite of blue and orange is always opposite of red. So for this one, it's just the same thing. So you would turn it, and then you would turn this like this, and then you turn it back. So now all of the middles are in the right place. Now the next step is to get all of these edge pairs. So with the 3x3, there is only 1 of each piece, but on the 4x4 there is 2 edges. So see, this is a white and orange edge, and so is this. So that's how you know that these pieces have to go together to make one solid edge pair. So what you would want to do is you would want to put them so they're next to each other like this, but you like on 2 different sides, but you do not want one here and one here. You want one here and one here, or one here and one here. So you always want them like diagonal like this, like either this or this. So to connect them, you would just move it so it connects, but then you messed up these, so you have to turn it up to the top layer, replace it with junk, which is a not correct pair. You turn it back, and then you turn this back so the middles match up, and this pair is correct. Now, if you find a here like this, if you find 2 pieces and you put them on this side and this side, and they're like across from each other like this, all you have to do is move both sides up to the top layer, turn the top clockwise, turn the front clockwise, turn the top counterclockwise, and then move this left clockwise. So now you should see that this orange and yellow and this orange and yellow are now diagonal. So you would move them together, turn it to the top row, put it back in, and then turn this side back, and then replace it with, and then fix the middles. So now you would continue doing that until you have 3 messed up edge pairs left, and it has to be 3. So I would connect these 2, put them back, and like this. And you do not have to and you do not have to it does not matter if this is all like this, as long as you're not messing up, as long as you're not turning any chunks or wedges. So, by the way, these are like the just face turning ones. This is a chunk, and this is a wedge. So, now I would find another pair to put together. This green and white and this green and white. And then I would turn it together, replace it with junk, and put it back. If you put them like this and you notice you don't have any junk on the top to replace it with, all you have to do is flip it over and look for junk. If you still don't have any junk, then you have to look for junk on other places and turn it to the top. So let's say like that. So let's see, let's find another one. So this green and red and this green and red. So I would get the junk, I would put it in, turn it up, replace it with junk, put it back, and fix these. So now let's find another one. Oh, and you periodically want to count your messed up edge pieces. So there I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I would continue until I have 3.
So
most of this is most of this pair stuff is looking actually. So that's pretty much what most of the time is, looking on a 4x4. So let's see, here is a blue yellow, and then here's a blue yellow. So let's put it together. Oh, and you have to make sure that if there's only one junk on the top, it's not here. Because if you turn it together and turn it up, then there's no junk to replace it with. So you have to make sure it's either here, here, or here. So you would turn it up, replace it with junk, turn it down, and then do that. So now I have 4 left. So I would do this one more time. Okay, so here and here. Oh, and so this happened again. So the algorithm is just, you move both of these to the top layer, and you turn it so the top clockwise, and then front clockwise, and then top counterclockwise, and then left clockwise. So that makes these diagonal, and then I would turn it together, put it up, replace it with junk, and put it back. So now I have 1, 2, oh, whoops. So I accidentally fixed 2 edges. If this happens to you, you want to stop at 3. So if this happens, then you would want to keep one messed up edge here, but then put this as junk on the top. So you would mess up this one edge, you would put the junk back, and you would turn it back. So now there should be 1, 2, and 3. You could check that there's only 3 by finding that a white blue here, and then find the white blue here, and move on to this, which is a orange green, and then there's an orange green here, and then move on to this one, which is a yellow red, and then this one should be a yellow red. That means there's only 3 left. So that's just a double check. So if you do the algorithm to fix it, and then you put your junk on the top, and then now you want to put it in this position right here. So these you want to put together, and you want to put your junk here. So if you're moving this top wedge to connect them versus this bottom wedge, so you could either be moving this top wedge to connect them or this bottom wedge to connect them. If you're moving the top wedge, then you would want to make sure this color, the one that you're moving out of the way, matches up with this color. And if you're moving it from the bottom, you want to make sure this color you're pushing out of the way matches up with the front color here. So mine does not match up since I'm moving the top wedge here. See, this one's in front, but it has to be the back one. So if it's like that, it's just super simple. You just turn the right clockwise, the back, so the junk goes on top, and then the right counterclockwise. So now you could just move this back so it's here, and then connect them. Oh, and now you notice that the other blue white is right here in the back where you want it. So I would turn it like this, turn it up, replace it with this chunk, turn it down, and put it back. So now all of your pairs should be correct. Now, you could just solve the 4x4 like corners first, but there are 2 parities you have to be aware of. And those 2 parities will come a little bit later. So one thing before I get started, if you ever have to turn the middle, make sure you turn both of these like middle wedges. Okay, so now I want you to solve it up until where you have to get these middle layer edges in the right spot. Okay, now we're here. So the first parity you may notice is the one where you could get 2 of these in correctly and 2 of them not in correctly. So no matter how many times you do this algorithm, no matter where you do it, you will never get more than 2 that are correct. It just won't work. So now, this is a parity. A parity is something that does not normally happen on a normal Rubik's Cube, but does sometimes happen on other Rubik's Cubes. So, what you would do is, so you would leave these 2 that are the same. So there's 2 cases for this parity. One where the 2 correct ones are diagonal, and one where the 2 correct ones are like this. If they're diagonal, then versus like this, there's no different algorithm. Just you have to do one tiny step, which isn't really like anything. So if they're diagonal, all you have to do is turn this twice, so the 2 correct ones are here and here. Now you want to flip it over and put it like this. So the 2 wrong ones are like here and here. So now you want to do the algorithm. This entire top chunk, like top half thing, twice. Oh, by the way, everything here is going to be turned twice. So this top chunk twice, this right chunk twice, top twice, this right wedge twice, top twice, this right chunk twice, and then this top chunk twice. And then you turn this back, and they should all be in the right spot. Now, the next parity is you could get every one of these facing the right way except for one. Now, this algorithm is slightly long, but once you continuously practice it, you could memorize it. So now a good way to memorize it is in 3 stages. Like, that's how I memorize it. So the first stage is this chunk, like, okay, so this is a chunk and then this is a wedge. So you want the right wedge down and then top twice. And then the left wedge down and then front twice, the left wedge back up and front twice. So that's the first part. Now the next part is this right wedge twice, and then top twice, and then right wedge up, top twice, and then right wedge down, top twice. And then the last one is very simple. It's just front twice, right wedge twice, and then front twice. Now your 4x4 should be solved. Thanks for watching. Bye.